People deluded. I'm back again. Now, we had a great one. Well, we've had a great run. With what 11 wins, 1 draw. So from our last couple of games, or however many games it's officially been, a far cry from when we were struggling in the first opening weeks of the season against Chelsea and City. It's a good run. Depending on how you speak to, everything's going great, or you're waiting for something to happen. I'm pretty sure most Arsenal fans can see that it's a great run. It's a great bit of form we're in, and considering with the new manager and what could have been, we didn't expect this. But it means, ultimately, it means little because the league's not done. There's still other ways to look at it. I mean, it's great that for me, I'm ecstatic that we're actually, again, it's not, I wouldn't say it's easy to improve our away form, based on last year, but we only won a handful of times, to be nice to us last year, so it weren't exactly the hardest things to do. I love to see that we're scoring away from home hella goals. At home, we're scoring hella goals. We're confident home and away, and we're putting in good performances. That doesn't mean everything's fine and dandy, because you look at the shots face statistics, we're up there. You look at the goals we've conceded, we've letting 13 goals now. I believe only Fulham and Brighton better us at that aspect. There's other ways of looking at it. We're playing good, but there's things we can improve. Clearly, keeping clean sheets. We haven't got too many of them this year. In fact, this month, the last month of fixtures in October, Premier League-wise or in general, we haven't walked away with any clean sheets. Obviously, we got a clean sheet against Cat Yarabag and Sporting, so just focus on the Premier League. So there's other ways of looking at it. I'm happy that we're actually passing less and we're actually running more and scoring more goals and things, but between defensive errors, we've got a couple of errors leading to goals by individuals, so the focus needs to be there fully. If I'm harsh, I don't really think it is a thing, but it's something that was still there with Wenger, but killing games off. In the first half, we're not really killing games off. We're having to turn up in the second half, and I had the statistics, and I've lost them, of the scores at half-time and then the scores after the game, or our goals in the second half. And so at the moment, we're very much a second-half side. We won't care because we just want to win, but defensively, we can improve. We can do several things. And looking at our fixture list, the next 5 games, including Liverpool, we've got Liverpool, Wolves, Bournemouth away, United the last fixture, and I missed out Spurs at home. This is what I mean. We're getting down to the nitty and gritty. It's a great run of form we had. We rid our luck at times. We deserve to win. We got a bit of rubber the green. Either way, 12 games, 11 wins, 1 draw is fantastic form. But it means nothing if you now go and lose the next 5 or fail to win from the next couple of games, because obviously we drew against Palace. We've now got a very tough ask in Liverpool. I would take another point, so 2 points in 2 weeks isn't exactly the best of form. Context needs to be applied. I'm only saying that because when you look at people beneath us, it's too early to be looking at what other people are doing, but you get the point, people. This form means nothing if we don't get what we want come May, and things like that. We've got a big month ahead. Like, we're coming into the decisive period of the season, in the sense that we need to come out in the new year still with realistic ambitions of the top 4. And like I said, we've got to play Liverpool, who at this moment in time, until Spurs and Manchester City kick off, sit top. They've been doing their thing, and I actually think Liverpool, they're scoring goals in their front three specifically. Well, not necessarily front three, but Firmino, Salah and Mane. I don't necessarily think individually all of them have got flying into top gear, because I know they've got better, but you look at the goals and assist stats, it's evenly shared. So going against Liverpool is going to be a difficult game, and a different we're going against a different beast, a much improved side on last season so far. So we'll see how that one goes. Wolves, that is a game we should be winning, but Wolves have shown their own crud this season. They've played all right in big games. They let themselves down, but Wolves are not someone to write off. They're technically 10th, 11th, and they've probably got ambitions. I think they're 10th, forgive me if I'm wrong. And they probably still got small ambitions of getting a Europa League spot, and they've got a good pedigree of players. Arsenal fans know damn well who Adama Traore is after what he did to Monreal. So, yeah, and they're a team that will take advantage of set pieces, and we need to be on point. Bournemouth away. I don't need to remind you last season what happened there. Was it last season? No, it wasn't last season. The season before, I could be wrong. Either way, you know what happened with the draw there, where we came back from behind. For us, anyways, whenever we play Bournemouth away, I wouldn't say it's necessarily difficult, but it's a bookie game, and we're going against a side with young G's that will relish playing a top 6 side. Got to do that. I've not got to tell you, if you're an Arsenal fan or any Premier League fan, but specific to Arsenal, I don't need to tell you, the importance of Spurs and United. United and Arsenal, I've told you a lot before, they're the former sort of, not, I don't advocate these things, but the former kingpin drug dealers who are now just hanging outside bookies, betting their last pound. That's what Man United and Arsenal essentially are. Premier League heavyweights going for the title. Now, arguably, they might both not get top four. In fact, they both have technically been shaped from top four. What was it? Not last season, but the season before, when United finished outside it, but they won Europa League, and we were unlucky not to get it. So I don't need to explain to you. And United, that's at Old Trafford. Do I need to tell you about our form at Old Trafford? I can remember vividly. I'm so sure we've won 2 separate games there where Gilberto Silva scored and Adebayo scored. And that was probably 05, 06. I ain't seen us win there in a while. Of course, I've seen us beat United at Old Trafford in the FA Cup. We've done them at the Emirates a couple of times. Shout out to Van Persie, Aaron Ramsey, Thierry Henry. And obviously Alexis, well, he's a twat now, but and Ozil a couple of years ago. And even Xhaka, to be fair. So I've seen us win. But at Old Trafford, we're not on it. Like, we're not on it. Like... Again, no disrespect to United fans, because when I hear there's certain grounds, when you hear Anfield, when you hear Old Trafford, these are magical football grounds. But considering how United have been, it's not the Old Trafford of anymore. It's not the team that strike fear into players anymore. I've seen teams have gone there and got results against United and done all right and literally treated Old Trafford for White Hart Lane. Come on, man, that was 2 for the price of 1 to get both of you fans. But on a serious note, like, we need to show something at Old Trafford, man. If you're pessimistic or even if you just go on statistics, it's not looking gravy there. But these are the games that will test our mettle. Arsenal versus Spurs, question marks of both sides. We beat them at our place last year, and obviously they done us at Wembley. Question marks are being asked of both sides. Pochettino, there's players being asked, like Loris, is their hunger still there? Have they achieved, I wouldn't say won because they ain't won a damn thing, but have they achieved what they possibly could have? Obviously, we know there was no major recruitment, and despite all of that, Spurs are doing quite well, and they're still in the top 4 positions, so you have to give credit, but there's question marks on both sides, and you think that game has a big decider into who gets the Premier League's Champions League spots. We've dropped silly points already this year. Well, not silly. Well, I'd say we dropped silly 2 points against Crystal Palace because on one hand we could have lost, but on the other, it was a decent point in the circumstances. City and Chelsea, nobody expected us to win that essentially. So what? Already this season, despite we've got 11 wins and 1 draw, we've lost 6 points against the 2 previous reigning champions, and then obviously we dropped 2 points having drawn against Crystal Palace. So that's 8 points. 8 points might be the difference come May in regards to us not getting the league or not. Goal difference, points, all of these finer things make the difference. So that run of 5 games is going to be, I wouldn't say it's necessarily make or break, but it's make or break, people. There's 5 games. As an Arsenal fan, obviously my bias would tend to be you'd expect to beat Bournemouth and Wolves, but any of them games are pretty tough. And if the boys really want top 4, they've got to show it in these games. So yeah, Liverpool at home, I don't need to tell you as well. We drew 3-3 there, but you remember typically they slap us at the Emirates, and they definitely have been slapping us at Anfield. There used to be a time, a couple of years or so ago, when you'd think we could get a result against Anfield and get a draw. Liverpool fans, if you're watching this and laugh, don't forget, never forget, Arsenal might be a laughing stock at times, but we have done drillings at your place, 1 league titles at your place, 1 league titles at White Hart Lane, and obviously you know what we did at Old Trafford. Don't forget, Arsenal, of course, some sleepless nights, so don't try and laugh at us. But banter aside, people, man, 5 games, you got to show something, man. I'm not even going to say how many points you should realistically be getting from that, but against Liverpool, obviously I'd like to beat Liverpool, Spurs and United. Obviously if they're playing weakened sides and things like that, we can take advantage, but I would take 3 points from them 3 top 6 clashes. I'm sure anyone of any club would, at this moment in time, without the game being directly in front of me, would take a draw in either. And you'd expect to win. Obviously, I'm not advocating for 5 points from 5 games. That's pretty poor. We need to win some of these games, essentially. If that doesn't make sense, it would be, if we were to get 3 draws and 2 wins, it would be more than 5 points. It'd be what? 2 wins is 6. It would be what, 8-9 points. So yeah, if we can get 8-9 points from that, it'll be decent. You want 2 wins against Wolves and 3 points against Wolves, 3 points against Bournemouth, and then obviously you've got, yeah, so it's 9 points. So then obviously you've got Liverpool, Spurs and United. I'm sure I will take a draw in all of them, because obviously I'd want to win them, people, especially the Spurs one and the United one. Don't think Liverpool ain't ops too, but a draw and living to fight another day. But that is it's crunch time now. It doesn't matter that you scored a lovely goal against Fulham and an equally good teamwork goal against Leicester and good fight backs and weathering storms and all of these things. It don't matter now. The last month is irrelevant now. We start again, we go again. And these 5 games in Liverpool at home, then after it'll be Wolves, and then Bournemouth away, Spurs at home, and then United away. Decisive time. These are where you want to look back in May and think, yeah, we showed up in these games, because there's a common theme. We'll look back in May at these performances against the top 6 and our certain forms in certain games, and the stats won't lie. So yeah, they need to do their thing, man. But for now, I'm out, people. So. People deluded, man. This vid don't make no sense. I was actually going to record other vids. This was just an ad hoc thing, but yeah, man. People, I'm out.